This is fantastic and great for you to get started. Or if you're just looking to brush up on some CSS code, then this is the training video to watch. In either case, today what we're going to do is take a look at how to create some nice CSS buttons, and I'll show you some different ways to play around with those. So let's take a quick look. All right, so the button that we're looking to create is going to look somewhat similar to this. So if you can see, we have like a nice basic rollover, and when you push down, it kind of goes down by 1 pixel or 2. So anyways, that's kind of what we're going to look for, or somewhat similar of a button. So I'm going to show you how to do this. In either case, the code on the HTML is simply just and then we put a class famous button, href. We pointed it to somewhere, so you could go to your website.com or Google, and then your text and closing off that anchor tag. In either case, let's start from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to build this. So basically, first off, when you have the famous button, you need a class. We're going to call it famous button right there. And as you can see, that now that I started working on it right away, that button is basically gone. In either case, we have famous button right there. What I'm going to do is, when you have this famous button, let's just start out with coding some basic things. I'm going to make this one maybe like a blue button. We'll make it kind of like a yellow and blue. Let's do yellow, so you can see like a yellow version. So we'll go ahead and I'll do something like this. We'll start out with, I always like to do kind of like a background color first. So we can kind of start right there. We can say text decoration none. Okay, the other thing is font family. We can do Arial. Okay, so that gives us a nice font. We can do font size. Let's make it about 40 pixels, just so that it's nice and big. We'll also make the color probably something a little bit darker than a yellow tone, but a darker yellow tone. Okay, so we'll pull something like this. I could do something a little more, let's just say brownish as well, because yellow and brown, they work really well. So you can see right now how it's really working out pretty well. The other thing I want to do is, let's just say font weight. I'll do maybe 600. We'll see how that looks. Actually, font, I'll go ahead and use Gotham, just because I know that in that font family, there's a lot of different sizes when it comes to buttons, because I could do font weights, I mean. So I could do like a 300, I could do like a 600. So there's a lot of font weights. Okay, so far we're progressing pretty good. I need to add some padding because it's just too close to the edges. So padding, let's just say I'll do maybe 25 around just to get me started. And let's just say margin top 25 as well, just so I can see that button going. And let me just take a look here. And if I'll just add that actually to the body, let's just do margin 50 pixels. That way we have a little bit of room to work with. That way I don't need that margin right there. So anyway, I have padding 25. Let's do border radius. Let's go about, let's start with 45 pixels and just see here how that looks. Okay, it looks pretty good. I probably actually want to do 65. You can see it rounds it a little bit better. Maybe even, let's just do 85. So we have kind of like that pill button. And with the padding, the 25 is good. In fact, what I probably want to do is just 20 pixels on top and bottom, and more like 60 pixels on left and right. And let's reduce that font size a little bit so it fits on there. So there we go. That kind of is creating a real nice button right there. I might even go ahead and add like a 1 pixel or 2 pixel border. And I'm going to use, since our background is this color, okay, let me see if I can pull that color. I'm going to make it just a hair bit darker. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make it this color. So you can see, there we go. That's creating like a nice border. I could even go maybe 3 pixels. There we go. You can see that's really starting to take shape. And then what I want to do is go ahead and put something on as the rollover. Okay, so as we roll over, so this will be our hover state. I'll go ahead and do this. So what do I want it to do? Well, let's just say I'll change color to maybe orange. Okay, so some kind of orange color tone. Let me zoom out of here so that way we can see all the different colors. So I'll go ahead right here. We'll change this to background right there, something to this color. Let's just see how that's starting to look. Okay, and as you can see, my text is staying the same. So I'll need to change that color of that text. And we'll go to white. Okay, so now as I roll over, you can see how that's starting to look. Looks pretty good. I don't need probably that border, border 0 or none. Okay, let's just take a look. See, as we roll over, there's no border right there. I could add one if I really wanted to, and let's just say we make it a little darker. Border, we'll do the same size, 3 pixels, solid, but a different color. So now you can see, there we go. That's coming along pretty well. The other thing that I could do is, let's just say on active, meaning as we press it down, we can have that button moved. So I'll go ahead and create this next little bit right here, and we'll just do on active. And okay, so what I want to do is actually probably go ahead and put this back, but I'll do position relative. Let me just see, because it's relative to the past. Let's see if that helps and works out. So we'll go to 2 pixels, and let's just see here. All right, so there we go. That actually works out a lot better, because if I do 5, there we go. So now that's working a lot better. So we'll just go 3 pixels there on the active state. As I press down, that button goes down just a little bit. Okay, so far this is looking good. The other thing that I could do is, you can see this transition's very quick. So what I could do is I could do kind of a transition, and then I'll do 0.5, let's do 2 seconds ease. Let's just see what that looks like. So as you can see, as I roll over, it fades into it. If I want it a little quicker, I'll just do 1 second. Let's just see how that looks. It's a little bit quicker. Maybe even faster would be better. Let's just do 300 milliseconds, and let's just see what that looks like. There we go. It's a little bit better, even 600 or 700 milliseconds. There we go. That's a nice little transition. So you can see how that's really working with the button. If you wanted to get a little more complicated with it, of course you could do a little bit of a gradient with it. So that's another option. If I wanted to get rid of the border radius, I could go ahead and get rid of that. Now you can see it's like a nice flat button that's a little bit more squarish. So that's another way of doing it and creating a nice CSS button. And then when you press it, you get a little bit of that effect. And I could easily change these colors if I wanted it kind of like a blue color tone right here. I could go ahead and change the background to blue. I could also change the color of the text to white. And you can see how that now is kind of like a bluer color. If I wanted it more like a purple color, I could do that as well. Again, that's just playing with some colors, and then I'll go ahead and change that border as well. And let's just take a look at what that looks like. So you can see very nice, simple buttons, that you can use in all sorts of ways. Let's see, there we go. So as you can see, there you go. That's your CSS button with nice rollover effect, and even as you press down, a little active state. Thanks for sticking with me in this training video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here so that way you're notified as I release new training videos. But more importantly, go and get on my newsletter list right here. That's where I share some insight on when I release new exclusive training material.